What's up, everybody? RevivalHouse.net, Revival House Network. Got a few guys on board today. We got Josh James from R-Rated.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Got Riverman.
Hey, what's up?
And we got Zach, as usual.
What's up?
And I'm Aaron, and we are going to be doing a commentary. First, we got to get out of the way. We had a week. A high anus, as Zach put it.
For the first time in a while.
And there was a good reason for it. I got, yours truly, got summoned for jury duty. And
he got fucking jury duty, this fucking idiot. He was sitting there asking me, and he was like, "Hey, Zach, Josh James, what's the best way to get out of jury duty?" And we're talking about how you hate cops and shit. Wear your cop killer shirt. They shouldn't pick you, and they fucking picked him.
Well,
I told Aaron to wear a swastika armband. That would end that shit real quick, man.
I thought that was a good idea. You think about it, you romanticize the idea of wearing a Juices Loose t-shirt when you go there. Until you go there and you see how it really works. I'm like, wow, this is not how I thought it was going to be in my mind. I'm glad I didn't wear the OJ shirt now. Because I got summoned for grand jury, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's different. So we were in a legit courtroom. We all had to go in this courtroom. We got shuffled in. There was about 100 of us. And we all got juror numbers, and we spoke with the judge. And it sounds funny to sit there and wear one of those shirts you guys are talking about in your mind. But yeah, I mean, you can't. There's no way you get away with it.
You'd have to go a more subtle way with it, just shave off your eyebrows or something. So that people just think you're completely crazy, It's just
that would be a good idea, actually.
No, now I know the tricks. Now that I've done it once, I know what works, right? First of all, I should have went in there with a shaved head, and I could have got one of you guys to draw a half-assed, child's version of a Third Reich on the side of my head with a Sharpie.
You could have just went in with the shaved head. We could draw a face on the back of your head, and you walk backwards. They'd think you're crazy then.
Either that or sunglasses like Mr. Cool Ice.
But no, it is an interesting experience. No, I know how to do it now. Next time, I just will pretend like I have a very, very loose grasp on the English language. Which we'll get into. There's a reason why we're doing the movie Jury Duty today. For two reasons, actually.
Fucking jury duty. We just dropped the bomb. We're doing this shitty movie. I mean, I love this movie.
I think they can read, and I think they can see thumbnails and stuff. I don't think it's a spoiler that we're doing Jury Duty. They clicked on the Pauly Shore thumbnail. I'm sure you got on there. But anyway, so obviously to celebrate me doing Jury Duty, and also the fact that we need to complete our Pauly Shore, how do you say that?
Shore exploitation.
Pauly
Shore sold t-shirts by the seashores. I don't know. He probably is selling his own shirts by a dumpster somewhere, but
don't be mean.
But yes, he's got one of the shortest exploitations there is. I think after this, the only other main one we have is In the Army Now, right?
I love In the Army Now.
I actually like that one.
Okay. Well, none of us have. I think everybody here has either never seen Jury Duty or it's been a long time. I've seen Jury Duty once, and it was probably in the 90s, late 90s.
What's the one where he's on the farm?
That's Son-in-Law. That's the best one. Yeah. Don't get your hopes up if you thought this was Son-in-Law, because it's not Son-in-Law.
I just want to say that I would never click on Jury Duty on a YouTube video ever unless it was Revival House doing a commentary for it. Honestly. I can't believe I sat through fucking Biodome.
Isn't Michael Richards in this movie?
No, that's Trial and Error, dude.
Oh.
Get your shitty Forgotten Court movies straight. That's a bad movie. That's a fucking bad movie, man. Trial and Error.
I've never seen that.
Jeff Daniels.
Vinny's good.
Yeah, my Cousin Vinny is good.
All right, so I think we should get this movie started. We're doing all this lamenting about all these movies we should have picked, but we're stuck.
Marissa Tomei, baby.
Yes.
Marissa Tomei.
She might save this movie for me, I guess.
We're all queued up. Is this a rip? This is probably out of Zach's personal collection because he probably has multiple copies of it. Is this a DVD?
I think this is a DVD rip, yeah.
Okay. He's got one for his car. He's got one for every room in the house. All right, so how does it work? Is it gonna who did this one? Is it
I think it's TriStar.
Okay, that works. All right, so we're just gonna start it up. We're gonna do the 3, 2, 1 play, and it's gonna go right into the TriStar, Trimark, Hollywood, whatever the fuck it is. Trimark's Leprechaun. Backtrack that one. All right. 3, 2, 1, play.
Hell yeah!
Oh, what is? Oh, it is. You're right. Trimark or TriStar.
We're gonna watch that fucking horse with the wings, babe.
Hey, speaking of Trimark's not around anymore. Did they like rebrand to something else?
TriStar.
No, Trimark. I know. I'm talking about Trimark now.
I don't know. I haven't seen Trimark, in a while.
They had a cool logo.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it's been, like I said, probably a good 20 years since I've seen this movie. All I remember about it is Pauly Shore has a dog that loves Jeopardy.
And he's got a fat-ass cock that he chokes people with in this movie.
I remember his love for Jeopardy as a plot device that plays out later for the script at the end of the movie in the third act.
Tia Carrera is in
Weasel
here.
Productions.
Okay.
Is this the one where he jumps on the bed in a Speedo and he barks with his dick? Or is that...
That's in the army now. Yeah, it's in the army.
Yeah, because I always did that with my wife, dude. I always jumped on the bed in like a, whitey tighties and started barking, dude. Like, arf, arf.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, I'll have to do that one.
Hey guys, I want to do my Riverman impression. Can I do it for you? I've been working on it.
Let's hear it.
What's up, Dad? How you doing, Dad? Fucking perfect. That's fucking spot on, man. Come on.
I remember noticing that back in the day. Yeah, you always, hey, Dad. Hey, Dad.
Oh, yeah.
Sup,
I couldn't
Dad?
tell what
Hey,
you were
Dad.
fucking saying, but now I get it. I know, man. Like, and that's kind of the way Todd will talk, just in private, like not even recording. Like, we'll
Aaron talks like that sometimes too when they're
a little bit with Riverman, I do, and because like it'll be very casual stuff that it comes out. So like, let's say we are loading up to get ready to record, but we haven't started the movie yet. We're just shooting the shit, like waiting for Zach. Todd will be there eating, and he'll be like, "Man, you don't like hot Cheetos, dude? Man, they're fucking good, dude." It'll be like just like totally non-important stuff. Like, I love Creed, dude. That's what he's been saying lately.
I'm in a Scott Stapp mood.
He won't shut up about Scott fucking Stapp, man. He's 20 years too late.
I know.
Speaking of Scott Stapp and Creed, they were on the soundtrack of H2O, and did you see the H3O fucking poster today?
You mean 4-0? 4-0.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, so my thing is, I think it's cool. I think it's neat. I just don't know why his mask aged too, and why he looks so fucking sad. But, that aside, I think the mask looks cool.
I think it's just like it's cracked with age.
It has lines, dude.
It makes sense to me. Because it's like latex ages, it breaks down over time, so...
I'm sure that's what...
You're assuming that he's had the same mask for like 30 fucking years, right? So...
Roach!
I know that's Roach from People Under the Stairs.
Oh,
I agree that's what they're going to play off. I think it's going to be a double meaning, obviously.
Yeah.
It's a worn mask. I think it's kind of working to the favor of being old Michael. It's just one of those things. But, of course, you have everybody under the sun sharing the pictures of the real mask today and how it would really age. And obviously, but it's a movie. They're not going to have more of that beat the shit.
Another thing you have to think about, too, dude, is that it's a very minimalistic poster.
Yeah, just a teaser poster.
We got to see it from all angles.
But that, that's the wrinkles, the cracks in the mask are really the only information they're giving you.
Mm-hmm.
isn't it a Blumhouse movie, though?
Yeah.
That'll be a piece of shit, then.
Yeah, who knows?
They're hit or miss. They're hit or miss.
I don't even care, dude. I'm super excited to go see this shit at theater, man.
Just because it's coming out of their studio doesn't mean... it's got... The people making it are totally... They've never done Blumhouse before. John Carpenter, Danny McBride, his writing partner and director, they've never done that shit before. So, who knows if the Blumhouse influence is really going to be that heavy.
We're
on it.
missing his milkman routine.
Yeah, this is awesome, dude.
Look how young he is, dude. He looks like a fucking 18-year-old or something.
Dude, he looks like a testicle with cancer now, his face. His head. He looks horrible.
It's his face is sliding off, yeah. What is it that there's like a thumbnail of like Pauly Shore with Joe Rogan, where he's like getting real about his career or whatever, and it just looks like his face is sliding off his skull. It's bad.
I've listened to that one a couple of times, and that he just wasn't having a bad day or anything. He looks like that because I watch his Instagram live videos that he does like every other day, and he looks horrible, man. He looks real bad. I get it. It's been like
He's like in his 50s now, right? He's got to be 50, right?
I think he's
least.
50 or turning 50. I think he's about 50. But I know, but still, when you consider that this was about 20 years ago, gross.
It's Fruit Basket. Do you want?
Oh, that is sick, dude. That is sick, dude.
It's like that episode of Married with Children where they go to the
Jiggly room?
yeah,
Nudie bar?
Marcy
Yeah,
drops
Jiggly room, yeah.
drops her ring down his Speedo.
I don't know. I'm kind of getting turned on, man.
It's like the awkward boner alert.
That's
I get
sick,
some
dude.
tingles in the tip of my penis right now, man. Is that a tranny? I don't think I've
Dice,
seen this
dude.
since. Look how young Dice is. Jesus.
Dice.
Hey, have you guys been watching the Dice on Stars?
No.
Uh-huh.
It's good, actually. It's very. It's a short episodic show. You know, it's like 25, 30 minutes long or whatever, but it's pretty funny.
Speaking of stars,
Ford Fairlane be good commentary too.
Yeah, it would. Now, speaking of stars, I know where Zach's going with this.
they
Bad
fucking
news.
canceled Ash vs. Evil Dead. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Somebody, I read in one of the comments on bloodydisgusting.com, this guy said it the best. He said, you either die Ash vs. Evil Dead or live long enough to become The Walking Dead. And I'm like, that's pretty well said, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I told my friends we were talking about it on Facebook or something. I was like, I'm glad it kind of like went out early, like real good, instead of being drug out for like a really long time and a bunch of seasons.
Season 2 is awesome. So
As long as they had the foresight like they did to end it at season 3, to have a conclusion, just in case it was going to get canceled. So
I mean, I haven't seen season 3 yet, so I don't really know how it ends.
but as long as they wrap it all up, man, I'll take 3 seasons.
They've only showed season 8 so far. Like season 9 and 10 still haven't aired
What are we talking about?
of season 3 or episode fucking 8.
So, but,
they haven't finished the season out yet, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
yeah, no, I think it ends at the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you would have asked me before this show aired, like how many seasons would have been ideal, I would have said 3 at the very minimum. I think 2 would have been an absolute like cheat. But
It
3
did
at the-
surpass the fucking the curse that he because all the shows he's done always just ended after season 2.
No, Burn Notice was on for like 8 years, dude.
Oh, was he a part of that, like a permanent part of that show?
He's the main co-star.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's not the main guy in Burn Notice, but he's like his right hand.
Okay.
And that show was on like 8 years.
Here's the thing, man. It's like, Evil Dead, it's not really a mainstream thing. A little bit, but it's more, I mean, if you really think about those movies, I mean, they're more for horror fans or,
They're very cold.
people are into horror, It's not really, it's kind of hard for a big channel like Stars to, hold a series like that for a long, long time.
Shudder might pick him up though.
And putting it on against The Walking Dead, even if that show is on the decline ratings wise, it still destroys, something on Stars.
Here's the thing, though. It's like you can't really compare Evil Dead with Walking Dead, though, because it's like Walking Dead
Still,
is essentially like a fucking soap opera,
Soap
And
opera.
like
I
Evil
know,
Dead is like all about gore, They're completely different shows.
But okay, take how many people are watching Ash vs. Evil Dead. Take however many people that is on average, and I have to believe that around a key chunk of the people that are watching that show are at least the same demo that are watching Walking Dead. I get it. A lot of them are women and soap opera stuff, but there's still got to be a little bit of a chunk of people that are still...
I don't think so, dude.
Yeah, but they can't pick up the random numbers like fucking Walking Dead does, though,
Those people jumped off long ago, I think.
The thing that kills that show was the fact that Netflix turned it down. I believe wholeheartedly that if Netflix picked it up originally, it would still be on.
Absolutely. Or Netflix or Shudder,
Shudder, that's too bad. That's not a good enough home for it. Like that's low grade. I mean, that's Joe Bob Briggs territory, right?
No, that's true. That's
Well,
true.
there's nothing wrong with that, dude. If you have
But
Ash
for
versus
Evil Dead,
again.
nah, Evil Dead's it's like it's in a weird place in the middle.
They wouldn't
right?
have had
It's
the
too-
money. They wouldn't have the money to make it good.
Yeah,
though, you know?
Evil Dead is too lucrative for Shudder. But
You're right. It should have been a Netflix show. I don't understand why they turned it down. That's crazy.
see, Netflix has so many. They want all these like original programmings, and now there's just so much to where it's not all good. I mean, Netflix still has a lot of good programming, but I mean, some of the shit you see on there, I'm like, why they would have said no to an
Majority of Netflix stuff sucks.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're like 1 in 4 is good. You know, like I try watching all kinds of shit. I'm like, why is it like
why
3 out of 5
they would
bad,
say
or-
no
Oh, why would they say no to?
to an existing intellectual property with an installed fan base? Blows me away.
Because they're not focused towards horror, man. They don't give a shit about horror.
I mean, well, maybe it's because they tried that with Hemlock Grove and that bombed.
Dude, they have that terrible show, Slasher. Have you watched Slasher?
No.
No.
I
Oh,
haven't,
it's fucking horrible, dude. It's some of the worst cliched Canadian-made fucking bullshit I've seen. I'm like, I can barely get through this first season.
So maybe that played a small part in it. They had shows like Hemlock Grove, which is like the werewolf thing. That was, I guess you can kind of call it horror. John, that show bombed. It wasn't a success for him. I don't think it lasted more than 2 seasons or something like that. Maybe a show like Slash.
Yeah, that's got the
Eli Roth.
Skarsgårds in it.
Yeah,
But the fact is, you guys say that Shudder couldn't pay Ash versus Evil Dead and actually make it good. But I think people would pay the $4.99 a month to actually get Shudder just for Ash versus Evil Dead, and that would be their like number one show.
You gotta
on
look at the
Shudder.
numbers. You gotta look at how many subscribers are on Shudder versus all these other things. And Shudder's small, man.
That show would cost a lot to produce, I'm sure.
It would,
Which is a
and-
big reason why that Star has shut it down. Because it's not the draw I'm sure that they were hoping for it would be, you know?
And
It
Shudder
would,
just doesn't.
but it would bring a lot of people over to Shudder, I think.
Shudder does not have. Well, I'm sorry. I mean, maybe it would bring some people over, but it also. I'm sure they're looking. Shudder also has to have somewhat of a fan base and a subscribership from the get go too, and they just don't. I mean, they're not that big. I mean, they're not. There's not that many people.
I don't know, dude. I think they're pretty decent.
Okay, so I'm not questioning their quality. I'm questioning how big their subscriber base is. I mean, I'm gonna look it up right now for shits.
I wonder how big their subscribe, because I think it's for horror fans. Everybody has Shudder. That's a horror fan, pretty much. Like not me, because I've seen all the damn movies.
I don't, because I got rid of it, and it's just one of those things where you want to get you'll pick it up if they reset all their movies, you'll get it for a month, and then you'll get rid of it again.
Shit, I'll get it for Ash vs. Evil Dead. I'll get it for Joe Bob Briggs. Like if projects come out that I actually want to watch like that,
I think,
I
to
will
be honest with
support
you, as a horror fan, like that Joe Bob Briggs thing is the first thing that's brought me to that channel.
Yeah,
Because
really.
if I really want to see some obscure horror shit, I can find it online for free. Usually a lot of the shit's on YouTube for free. And I could always search out a torrent to find some obscure horror movie for free. So why would I pay Shudder, you know? Now the Joe Bob Briggs thing is like, that's something I would actually want to pay for, you know? That's smart.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get it for that.
That's smart programming as a horror fan, you know?
If anybody doesn't know, yeah, Joe Bob Briggs is doing a 24-hour marathon on Shudder. What you guys remember when it is? Is it June? I want to say.
June something.
It's in May. It's in May sometime.
Okay.
I'm actually happy to see, because Riverman and I were talking about how they were going to handle the show on the last classic episode we did, and it looks like they're just going to do it old school style. He's going to interrupt the fucking movies, which is, you know, I'll take it. That's better than that Elvira shit where she does like screen and pops up and says a stupid stupid pun that's not even funny.
If you remember, like on Monster Vision, he always kind of came back and was like, "Yeah, welcome back. Yeah, we're doing this," and then they'd go back to it, and so yeah, it'll still kind of work the same way. There just won't be commercials there.
So, and that's fine. So he's going to do a marathon. So after the marathon's done, I mean, I don't understand. It's not, Shudder's not live. So I don't understand how he's doing a marathon. You mean they're just going to throw...
Well, what they do is they have like a 24-hour channel on Shudder.
Yeah, there is a live feed always.
They have a live feed in there for what they put in, you know, movies going on. that sort of thing.
So
You think they'll probably like break it up into episodes or something after?
that's what I'm saying. When it's done,
Yeah.
because all they did was announce.
They're gonna-
all they did was announce.
They're gonna throw like 12 different movies on there. They're gonna throw the ones with Joe Bob Briggs in there.
Yeah.
So
Wait, what now? With Joe?
I said they're gonna have about 12 different movies they're gonna show in there, and they're gonna add the clips with Joe Bob Briggs doing the commentary on them.
Okay, so it's gonna be existing movies, you think, that are already on Shudder?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense too.
Or new movies that are gonna be shown on Shudder. I don't know.
Are they going to be available after the marathon though, in their episodic form?
I'm sure they will.
Probably.
I mean, why wouldn't they? I mean,
Well, he just didn't
you make
mention
more
it.
money.
All he did was mention that it was going to be a marathon. That's it.
Well, I'm sure it's not gonna be right away, but I mean, I'm sure they're gonna do that to milk it.
Dude, Roach in this movie looks like a fucking chicken lover. He looks like a horse fucker. Is that Abe Vigoda? It is.
Yeah, it is.
You plan on fucking these chickens?
You want to know what Abe Vigoda's greatest role is?
Hey, it's a whole shoebox full of dangly ones, Todd.
Yeah.
And there's Stanley Tucci's in this movie. There's Tia fucking.
There's all kinds of cameos in here, dude.
I know. There's I could heal you calming. she's back. That's some football player in the back. I don't know. It looks like it's a ball player.
That's the jump to conclusions, Matt guy.
Yeah, jump to conclusions. Yeah. Who's that?
And that's my motherfucking Pauly Shore. He's a good motherfucker.
That's
That
the
redhead is.
that's the chick from Men in Black. What the heck is it, Ire?
Yeah.
Here's a question for you. How come there's not even like some like Pauly Shore like cameos? I'm like, you never see him. He never even makes cameos in movies.
These aren't actually cameos. These are the main characters in the movie. They're the jurors.
Hey, maybe you guys already mentioned it. That's fucking Iggy from the Mario Brothers movie.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the guy with the little mustache, right? That's the bunghole. That's the fucking Joe Dirt.
There's Lois Einhorn, dude.
Right there, next to him. Look at that. That's from Mario movie. The guy right there, the mustache.
Is that Tia Carrere?
Yeah.
No. Is it?
Yeah,
I've mentioned
I,
Tia Carrere like 3 times, man.
I know you did. She's
Sorry, I wasn't listening to you, Zach.
Exactly.
Tony, I'm so used to tuning you out commentaries.
Could you spare some? Yes, I could. Plus, I'm cheap.
So kind of fill us in on something else, like some more of your jury duty story.
So
Yeah, give us a deets, man. What's going on with that?
Let's talk about the case since we're not supposed to.
well, that's not the way that's not the way grand jury works, and I didn't realize it either. But I've learned a lot. So grand jury is there's 3 known like court proceedings. There's of course, civil, right? That's just like day shit. That's nothing. But you have criminal court, and you have the grand jury, grand court. And so like the grand jury, what we do is we try and decide if the the accused or whatever are going to go to criminal court, right? We send them down the ladder. So grand jury is like speed court. It's like you're going to do 10 to 25 cases in a single day. And they're all like 20 to an hour long, right? So I assume it's like they come in with their eggs in order, their ducks in order. Okay, this guy was caught fucking a horse. We have an eyewitness. They're here to, testify. We have a picture of the fucking guy, and he has no alibi for, that time when the horses got fucking fucked. So, of course, we're going to be like, yeah, that's enough for him to go to criminal court. We're not sentencing him to death. We're just saying, yeah, that's strong enough to go to court and let him have his fair trial there. So it's stuff like that, but
Shouldn't the cops make that decision?
well, there's grand jury and there's also hearings, and I don't know too much about it yet, but there's 2 different ways they can go. I don't really know.
Sounds like they just fucking wasted your time.
Well, yeah, it is. Well, see, grand jury too, since our job is to sit there and just do all these fucking cases and shuffle them into criminal court. Basically, it's a long-standing thing. Grand jury is 4 months long. 4 fucking months long. And I don't think anybody who arrived on the first day, when they were like kind of weeding through people to see who was actually going to sit on the jury, nobody realized that. And I'm sure the second they walked into the courtroom like I did, and we saw the screen where it said, when it started, when it ended, our jaws all dropped. I mean, we dropped a brick in our pants, and everybody was like trying to get out of that shit, coming up with a story. But it was dumb, man. The first day was almost like an orientation type thing, and it really was a waste of time because they have this giant book. It's like as thick as 4 Bibles stacked, and all it is a book full of every possible charge, every possible felony charge, which is a lot. And even the person that was in this, we were all shuffled in this little jury room, this little bitty, like, it looked like a community college classroom, you know. It looked really small. And she even said, okay, so you got to read, this whole book's got to be covered, and don't even worry about like memorizing it because you're not going to. And, you know, obviously this contains a bunch of cases that you don't see very often, right? So and they're like, and when the cases actually come in one by one, they're gonna tell you what they're on trial for, what the charges are. So I'm thinking, why do we have to be put through this then? If they're gonna tell us what they are, I mean, why do we have to sit there and... Because what it is all she did for 9 hours, we sat in this room with these big fucking books, and we listened to a Stephen Hawking robot recording read every fucking word of it. Every word. And the Stephen Hawking voice couldn't even pronounce the words right, you know? Like, I know, raping, you know? Sodomy. Like,
this movie taught me how to do this, and I did it at school afterwards.
Zip-fly.
He's literally wearing the Fletcher Reed suit.
But that story sucked. You should tell us a funnier one.
There's no funny stories to it. It's boring.
Reed suit, dude.
It's a boring fucking experience, man. And obviously you can't talk about actual case details because that is like a felony.
Didn't you say something about a mistaken identity?
What?
That happened during the... Like
Shut
he got
up.
confused for somebody else.
Oh, what?
I just fucking got it. You're making the fucking Ernest goes to jail joke, and I didn't get it back when I read it. I thought you were being serious.
Oh, yeah. You thought I was serious that I went there and there was a guy that was my doppelganger?
Ish
You thought I was serious. I showed up and a black guy, you know, spotted me and he knocked me out with him and a fucking redneck, and then I got traded places with my doppelganger in prison.
You didn't spell it out like that, babe.
Yeah, I just...
I know where the redhead's from. She's from Seinfeld, dude. It's Elaine's roommate. Remember that?
What?
The one that chews gum and smacks it, dude.
Which guy?
Remember Elaine's roommate in Seinfeld?
Which guy are we talking about, though?
We're talking about the redheaded girl in this.
Yeah, but she's on Men in Black. She was on SNL.
Yeah.
For like a single season or something way back in the day.
But I was trying to think where I seen her from.
What year did this movie come out?
I'm gonna guess 96, but what year?
Oh, look.
This is the start of the decline of his career.
97, I
95.
think.
Woo!
95.
He really didn't get much time, did he?
I was.
I think I saw this in the theaters, too.
I graduated high school when this came out.
Well, this movie was right off the heels of Son-in-Law, because he peaked with Son-in-Law, and this movie came out. And this is
we definitely were not going to see Pauly Shore movies when I was 17, 18 in high school. No fucking way. So, yeah. Pauly Shore was cool probably, I would say, 5 or 6 years prior to that, like in the MTV heydays. Into the 80s, rather, you know?
I will give him this, and this kind of piggybacks on something we were talking about before we started recording with Riverman and Zach. But Pauly Shore is kind of, because I think Riverman, you argued that he was just because he's kind of pathetic. He's kind of sad now the way he talks, like he laments about his past fame and he misses starring in movies. And I think Riverman said he's just jealous of Sean Astin, and I'm like, no, see, it's different. Sean Astin is convention famous. He's not. Pauly Shore, when he was popular, he was way bigger than Sean Astin. It might have been for a brief period, and Sean Astin has just maintained his like consistent level of fame, you know? But I could throw a rock and find hit plenty of people that don't know Sean Astin by name. Yeah, if I show them the movie Rudy, they're like, oh, okay. But by name, maybe not. But Pauly Shore, people still remember Pauly Shore for better or worse, even if he's the butt end of a joke.
I really think Pauly Shore could have brought it back around. Or maintained it at least.
Yeah, he should have been in a Tarantino movie. Revive his career.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he really put any effort into it. I mean, as many Hollywood connections as this guy probably has through his
Comedy
lineage
store.
or whatever, or all the people that he knows. I mean, that's why I'm asking is like, you never see him in at least cameos or something, like
He's like, why should I fucking put effort into it? Adam Sandler doesn't, and he keeps getting movies.
Well, Adam Sandler did put him in that Sandy Wexler Netflix movie as a cameo. But
Yeah, he kind of is like the Adam Sandler that just people got tired of.
No, you're missing the point. So like I said, the Sean Astin and him comparison, Sean Astin is whatever, but Pauly Shore was so big, like everybody knew him, and I think everybody still knows his name, but then now he's just scum beneath your toes. He's the Limp Bizkit of comedy. He's the Fred Durst of comedy. So
yeah, but it's only because he didn't think his way out of it, though.
That green screen,
Oh man, that's so bad.
it's horrible.
But, he could have thought all the people who last through time, say like the Pee Wee Hermans or whatever of the world, they think their way out of it. They figure out a way to stay relevant in some way,
Yeah,
it's even when Pee Wee had his fall from grace, he managed to get himself into the Batman Returns movie, or he made fun of his situation. You know what I mean? Like he
was pretty tight with Tim Burton though, obviously, but I'm saying like maybe Pauly Shore was so big and
This is awesome. Watch, this is awesome. Oh my god, dude!
He was, so he was so
Did you
big.
see his head bounce off the table.
Yeah, but he was so big to the point where I think, like the bigger you are, the harder you fall. I literally think overnight he was cancer. He was so overexposed.
I think it's probably has a lot to do with ego. I mean, if you really are a creative person with talent, you can reinvent yourself or something. Like you could have pushed through that whole weasel persona and moved into something else, because there's a lot of like people out there, and I can't think of any examples, but I'm sure there are.
He got
plenty.
really typecast, man. He got really typecast. I mean, that's the character everybody loved. That's who he was on MTV. He literally, everybody thought he was the weasel essentially, and
I know, but I mean, he could have grown from the '80s through the decades and found his way back
talent
to do
for that.
something.
You got to have talent and something to fall back on for that. I mean, is he going to be like Jim Carrey and make Eternal Sunshine or whatever? I mean, he doesn't look like. Can he act? I don't think. I think he would have done that.
Well, I get that.
If that was his trump card, we would have seen it by now. He would have done Man on the Moon.
Yeah, but dude, there's people like making a living in Hollywood that have less talent than Pauly Shore. I mean, you got to be honest about that.
I mean, he was just consumed, chewed up, and spit out by the people that made him. I don't know.
Why didn't his best friend, what's his name from Limp Bizkit, put him in his new movie or whatever?
He put him in his videos. Hey, he already did enough. He put him in his videos.
Hey, Travolta's in there.
Listen, hold on. We'll move on to Travolta's shit in a second, because that's a good point too. But he put Pauly Shore in his videos at the height of their shitty, like soon to be Pauly Shore like career.
Because Pauly Shore makes it sound like him and Fred Durst are like best friends. So
I know.
why isn't Fred Durst like helping him out and putting him in his movie?
He was on his podcast. It's pretty sad. I know, but
who was?
Fred Durst was on fucking Pauly Shore's podcast, and it's just,
really?
Dude, it's pathetic. I felt bad.
It is. It's really sad, dude.
I was embarrassed listening to it.
It's beyond reminiscing. It's like,
yeah. Exactly.
Remember when we did this like for about 2 hours straight, So
he's like, remember when Faith came out and we were on the yacht, bruh? It's just like the whole thing. He's like, it's like Chris Farley SNL thing. You remember, remember when Nookie came out and we banged that, we tag teamed that chick, bruh? It's just like everything, and it's just and he's the sad thing is like you said, it's beyond just like reminiscing. He's talking as if it still exists. He's not even oh, those were good times. He literally talks to Fred Durst, and he's like, I mean, come on, man, you guys are massive. Like, no, what are they were? And I think he's so blinded.
See, that's my theory about like. Pauly Shore, dude, is he's trapped in the past. Like he can't. He never evolved beyond that. Correct. So he just wants to live. He wants to live off that moment that happened late '80s, early '90s, and he never evolved past it. So he's just, he doesn't want to do the work to move on past that. So that's what's holding him back.
And all it does, and that's why I think he gets on all those fucking has-beens on his podcast because all they do is enable that mentality because he's talking to basically Pauly Shore and Fred in a fucking Yankees cap across the table. Basically, like, you know, they're basically, you know, all they're doing is feeding into that. He had fucking David Faustino on there. Hey, remember that time I played your dad's boss, bruh? You know, I was on, you know, he's like, oh man, fucking, all they're doing is talking about.
Why didn't Pauly Shore move into like producing or something and like change his MO, you know?
Who knows? Well, the thing.
You don't have to be in front of the camera.
From what I've heard, now, you remember how he owned the Comedy Store for a while?
Now, yeah, he does.
Well, he actually owned it with his brother. They were both doing it. And I guess he sued his brother at some point a couple years ago because of some kind of business dispute. And apparently, from what I heard, his mom stepped in and had to tell like the people, yeah, it's really the other sons. Don't let Pauly do it. He's a fuck up or something like that. I heard that happened at some point.
The guy that runs it, Adam Egget, he's like the sidekick of Norm Macdonald on his podcast. But
Really?
Oh my god, dude, that fucking that Democratic like fundraiser that I watched with Norm Macdonald. Holy shit!
I've watched that many times.
Fucking hysterical. It's 2 parts on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'd never seen it before. Like, and I don't particularly care for Norm Macdonald's like style of comedy
Oh, I love it.
most of the time.
Really? I love Norm Macdonald, dude.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it never really. I mean, sometimes it's very hit or miss for me, but that was fucking great. So good.
Norm Macdonald, he's got this like, okay.
Probably tell the people listening what we're talking about.
No, so you basically summed it up. There's this like Democratic fundraiser. It's from the 90s, like the Bill Clinton administration, where he's talking to all these fucking blue-haired Congress types. And yeah, they're just not biting into it, man. He's roasting up there. And this ain't a roast. You know?
The thing is that, though, that those jokes are like totally killing. Like when I was watching, I was like, these jokes are amazing. But nobody wants to laugh. It's like you could tell that the crowd is like, you know, the guys are like the more open Democrats in the audience are like laughing at the jokes, you know, but the sycophants and the fucking phonies and shit are like stifling their laughter, or there's some of them that they're just like completely comedically dead, you know, they have no sense of humor at all. So it's just really weird because he's like, he starts out when I think one of his early jokes is like, one of my worst nightmares is to choke in front of the president of the United States, which he proceeds to do over the next like hour. It's fucking, but the jokes are funny. It's just the crowd is wrong. So I don't know. It's really good. If you haven't seen it, just go watch it because it's such a perfect thing of like history and like comedic genius at the same time. You know.
No, I agree. Hey, side note, Zach, that was the guy from what, Halloween 4 again? Have we seen him in like a million movies, Mr. Nanny?
Oh, yeah.
It's that guy who shows up everywhere. Anyway, though, but him, I love his style of comedy. He's got this, I know he kind of comes off like that's his persona, the spaced out kind of airhead guy. But he's really smart. Like when you listen to his podcast, and he's a really intelligent.
Oh, he's super smart. I mean, don't get me wrong, but he's one of those comedians. He needs to be in the right situation to shine, you know, like. That great Jim Carrey interview he does is brilliant.
That was good.
Like, you know, the Norm Macdonald show, and he has like Jim Carrey on, and that's really good. You know,
Dirty Work's great.
Did you watch his did you watch him perform on, I don't know if you want to call it a perform at roast on the Bob Saget roast on Comedy Central?
I probably did because I remember seeing that, but I don't remember his routine that he did.
To me, that was kind of like a situation you were just describing where nobody was getting it. So like by the reaction of the crowd and even the other roasters, no, I take it back. The roasters were laughing. Everybody in the crowd was silent because nobody got it. And he was the last one that went up. He was the very last one. And he went up there because obviously it's Bob Saget. And you have the roast master was fucking John Stamos naturally. And so everybody had already gone before him. And he's really smart. And nobody got the joke of it, but he was he listened to a whole night of everybody go up there and basically make the same joke, the obvious jokes of, oh, you fucked, you know, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, all these dirty things, right? And everybody made this, or you fucked John Stamos, and everybody was being as dirty as possible. And he goes up there and he tells a bunch of fucking really bad dad jokes. And it's so funny because nobody's getting it. Everybody thinks he's bombing up there. And Bob Saget, everybody's fucking dying laughing because they get it. And it's ridiculous. It's kind of like Andy Kaufman shit. Where,
it is. It's like one phase removed from just standard comedy. It's like, he's thinking very deep on a level in terms of like trolling. He's trolling and telling jokes at the same time. Like
he was performing for the comedians on the stage and definitely not for the audience. Nobody fucking got it. I'm dying laughing at home. Like, this is fucking great.
Oh yeah, it's funny because you mentioned Bill Cosby earlier.
No, we didn't, but go for it.
I watched. No, Zach. I think Zach or not. Zach mentioned Bill Cosby, right? Or somebody did.
No.
Anyway,
What about Ghost Dad?
I love Ghost Dad.
No.
No, go ahead.
Do you worship Satan?
Did I totally just imagine that somebody mentioned Bill Cosby?
Yeah,
I think you
Cosby
did.
sweater? Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
No, what about Bill Cosby? You got to finish it now.
I don't. Whatever. I was just saying that I watched one of his like stand-up specials the other day, and
He was funny. He's fucking hilarious. I
I
mean,
love Cosby, dude. He's funny.
he's still fucking hysterical, even though he's a rapist.
it's like, can you separate the man from the act? The artist from the act or whatever. And it's like, if you can just not think about that, you can't deny that Bill Cosby was one of the fucking greats. He was.
90% of comedians are degenerates anyway, so.
They all point fingers and they all just kind of like a dog pile, but they've all done shit, probably.
No, seriously, go back watch Bill Cosby himself, and it's hysterical. It's still even funny, and it's like back in the 70s, and like you see his genius. You understand why he was like the man back in the day, but you're watching it, and you have this like weird like push pull of like emotions because you're like, man, this guy is a fucking creepo, right? But you can't deny the comedy. It was fucking hysterical, Like
It's like Michael Jackson, man. That's what I compare him to.
yeah, totally.
I remember I had a tape, Bill Cosby to Russell, my brother, whom I slept with. It sounds dirty, but like, yeah, I remember having that tape. That was one of the first comedy albums I ever heard.
Man, there's something about, you mentioned people like Bill Cosby. Michael Jackson's a stretch, maybe Michael Jackson, but like these people that have this uber clean cut image to where they're almost perfect, holier than thou, those people are hiding something, man. Like Bill Cosby, right? He was the one that was criticizing the Osbournes, calling them bad parents, and all these things. Like, I don't think Ozzy Osbourne necessarily raped anybody. At least, we don't know.
Shit, he criticized like everybody going all the way back to like Richard Pryor and fucking
everybody. He was holier than he was on
Eddie Murphy's like
he was on his soapbox.
Don't use the
You ever heard Eddie Murphy?
Totally.
Did you ever hear Eddie Murphy's routine about talking to Bill Cosby?
No, go for it. What is it?
Where he said something about like, my son, listen to you. And I don't. It was funny. I forget. It was on Delirious or something.
Yeah, it's just stupid though. Like people that are that too squeaky clean and they're on their soapbox 24/7. Man, they got something to hide. And like I said, that guy, they use the bad language and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, but he's fucking raping people. But it's the ultimate deflector.
It's so fucked up, dude. It's unbelievably fucked up.
It's the ultimate deflector.
Like me and my white ass family watched fucking Cosby Show every fucking night for like most of the 80s. Mm-hmm. And we had this impression of who Bill Cosby was. And then it's just, and I watched Bill Cosby as a child, like very, very young, on picture pages. Remember that?
I've never seen
where he had like a little special pen, Mortimer, and he would write stuff and he would teach the children. And that was like one of his first gigs. Look it up. It's on the internet. Anyway.
And what the fuck? What was he raping women for when Mrs. Huxtable was that cute?
Look, it's a shame that the Cosby Show is not going to...
Felicia Rashad or whatever?
Felicia Rashad. It's a shame that the Cosby Show is not going to be on the air for probably ever again, because that show's... It's a fucking great show, man.
Because Mrs. Huxtable was a babe. So it's a shame.
Oh, yeah, she was. She totally was. Camille, not so much, but...
But it's the...
So you're more into Raven Simone.
She was like 5 years old on there.
Younger. Go younger, south.
I can't help but wonder if Cosby raped, what's her name?
Oh,
the daughter?
The one that he went at war with, Lisa Bonet.
Lisa Bonet because she fucking ended
Angel
up...
Heart.
They had a falling out, yeah.
Because she got naked on Angel Heart and he didn't approve. Oh, you're going on to Angel Heart and showing the boobies.
Yeah, that's the excuse, but maybe he dropped her a roof.
Didn't he get mad because she left the show too?
Yeah, and probably because he wouldn't fucking swing on his nuts. You know, he wasn't taking it. So like, it's basically the same operation as priests, right? Religious figures. Anybody in a position of like trust, same thing. You know, I'm wearing the collar, so I'm a good guy. I've got this reputation. Nobody will suspect me when I fuck your little butthole.
I want to fuck the
You know?
kids.
Yeah, but dude, look at all these fucking these teachers coming out. These hot teachers,
Same.
banging their
Yeah,
like.
what the fuck,
That's just like I just can't wrap my head
Every
around that
week
at
there's
all.
something, man.
dude?
They're always married, you know, and they have these like Facebook romances with these like 13, 14-year-old kids. It's crazy.
Look,
Weird,
not
dude.
to get too serious on this podcast, but it's the exact. There's correlation. The same thing we could say about the whole like rise of mass shootings. Social media has teachers always did this shit, right? But social media, it has caused this like platform to where it just multiplied. It's become easier to do it, and what might have been just like a twisted fantasy a teacher had but never acted on it. Now, like, social media might provide that extra push to
That's
try
the thing. I was going to ask you, Aaron, what do you think? Is it social media is causing it to happen, or is social media exposing it to happen?
I think it's a
You know,
little bit of
it's
both.
happening.
I think it's a little bit of both, but I think social media, like I just described, I think it's obviously exposing the ones that were already doing it because it already happened in the past. It always has happened. But I also think it's taken those people that were sort of, you know, second or third degree that would have never normally maybe like gone past the thinking about it stage, right? And I think it enables some of them, right? It's just like porn and deviancy, you know? I mean, that's a rabbit hole you can go down. And perhaps
Porn and deviancy. You're such a pussy.
if porn was regulated to if porn was regulated to the beaded curtain and going to your video store and actually purchasing dirty magazines, that might filter out some people from actually going the distance, right? But now with so much anonymity to it,
Yeah.
you can be anonymous to it.
You can access on your damn phone nowadays.
Yeah, and you can go down.
Let me ask you guys a question here, like a serious question.
What?
You know, us guys and our, you know, middle-aged guys or whatever, like, are you, like, starting to get really sick of the whole porn thing? Like, I mean, it's
Never been my thing.
It's getting to the point where it's just like, you know what? This is not healthy. It's not good. It's so easy, accessible. It's just, you know?
It really is a poison on the society, and it's a poison. I mean, now I sound like George fucking Bush or Ronald Reagan. It's a poison on the youth of America.
Yeah, you're totally gay. I love porn.
But check it out, though. No, Josh
Who
is
doesn't
onto
love
something.
porn, Zach? I'm not saying. I mean, I totally agree. I love porn too. That's the thing. That's the problem. It's so easily accessible. It's like
It ruins it.
you know, and when you have an actual relationship with a woman, how's it going to actually compare at some point? You know, like
Yeah. If you're married, you shouldn't be.
That's the worst. That's the worst part of it is
If I'm ever married, somebody fucking shoot me.
look. So hot load on your chest. Listen to me. Basically, porn paints a horrible depiction and an accurate depiction of what sex is and what love is. And I know.
yeah, it's like so amazing at the same time. It's just like the most.
If you're, I think it's bad altogether. But let's just like play around with it for a second. So if you're a mature guy and you've got your shit together and you're not someone that like goes too far down with it, yeah, you're somebody that can watch porn, disconnect. You can totally let it be what it is and call it a day. But when you have porn easily accessible on our smartphones, and the average person gets a smartphone at 10 years old these days, and they have access to like fucking felching videos and scat porn and all kinds of crazy shit. Basically,
the basic instinct though is like you say, you look at a woman like Tia Carrere and you can't fuck her. You're never gonna fuck a Tia Carrere, but you can go online and you can see her getting fucked by a guy.
Hell yeah.
and you can imagine it.
I mean, that's
get it.
like the basic fucking impulse. You know what I mean?
Does she have deep fakes out there? Is that what you're implying?
Deep fakes. Deep fakes.
Deep fakes. Double deep fakes.
I think her popularity doesn't correlate with the time deep fakes became relevant, so I don't think there's any deep fakes of Tia Carrere out there.
Oh, there's deepfakes of Carrera for sure.
But anyway, so you have all these kids. Now listen, you have all these kids potentially losing their virginity and stuff like that at earlier ages. And if you have two like 15-year-olds trying to go at it, those guys are trying to go at it just like they've been watching in porn. They're trying to hold the bitch's leg up like it's facing a camera.
That's fine.
And fucking from the side. No, and it's just like or they're just going right for the ass. They don't realize that.
Well, the thing is that there's something wrong with something to give you to aspire to give you some ideas. I'm just saying, like, it just starts getting ridiculous at some point, like...
Dude.
It's so gonzo at some point, because, like, there's always that next level of crazy that you're, like, to give you that fix, you know what I mean?
For somebody that can't take it, it enables you, and you'll go down that rabbit hole. So, like, for example, and like going back to the teacher thing, if the only way to get that shit was the beaded curtain and to actually, show a little humility and have to go buy it, it would weed out some of those people. At least from the weird shit, right? But now it's anonymous. You can get anything online in a paper bag and delivered on a blank package, or you can go online and get it. Look,
Dude,
Zach, listen.
That's bullshit. I'm the biggest introvert anybody's ever met. I went into Family Video and got a Monsters porno parody. Green chicks getting fucked.
Zach,
I wasn't afraid to do that.
But guess what? That's not where it ends.
They sell that shit at Family Video, or they rent
fucking
that?
bullshitting.
No, I got a Monsters fucking porno parody. Green chick, green dude fucking right on the cover. I was like, I gotta see this.
So, look, whatever, man. He probably borrowed it from the friend of his that jacked off at a Family Video. Right? The guy you always talk about?
It was at Family Video.
That same Family Video? You probably only got one. What I'm trying to say is...
Edward Penis Hands, is that where you get that too?
Look, that's different. That's small potatoes. What I'm saying is if Zach was into fucking donkeys or, whatever...
You can't get that on DVD. That's illegal.
Okay, so whatever. If you could, though...
I'd buy it.
You wouldn't go in there. You'd be like, I can't go in there. Oh, if they literally had a beaded curtain. There's two beaded curtains. There's your standard XXX beaded curtain where you buy fucking monster cocks. And there's the second beaded curtain with a shining light above it that says strictly bestiality porn. You're not going to go in there.
That's where I'm going right away.
Oh. Regardless,
Hey, Riverman.
Yeah.
What's up, Dud?
What's going on?
What's up, Dad?
What's up?
What's up, Dad?
You can't force him to say it. He's got to do it naturally.
I think Josh is like me on a drunken commentary.
Yeah, I know.
He's faded.
I'm buzzed. I'm not quite 13, 15 shots in, but
No, I understand, Josh. I've been drinking the Modelo 24 ounces for the past 4 hours.
Those are good.
The Mexican beers, yeah.
Modelo Dark or what?
No. I do like the dark, but I'm not drinking the dark.
How else do you imagine somebody brought up Bill Cosby?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
well, yeah. Okay, I can actually explain why I brought that up because when you texted me to come on to the podcast, I was watching a Banana Laser podcast commentary for Killer Clowns from Outer Space, where they were talking about Bill Cosby right before I jumped onto this one.
That'll do it.
Yeah, I confused the two. Sorry about that, but
that's a good plug.
What's your favorite commentary, Josh? What's your go-to commentary? Like
I don't have just one favorite,
on a DVD or a Blu-ray or anything.
And a more important question: why weren't you listening to our Killer Clowns from Outer Space commentary? You son of a bitch!
Banana Lasers, you got fucking good shit,
dude. I have to listen to one of your fucking commentaries every fucking week. You guys put so many goddamn commentaries out. And then I got the fucking Mac and Zach. I got to keep up with that shit. Now I'm trying to go back and listen to early fucking behind the mask commentaries. Dude, it's just too much. I can't handle
guess what?
it.
Now we're gonna make your life and everybody's life out there easier. Maybe we should talk about this, Zach. We're gonna make everybody's life easier for the average man that says there's just too much Revival House. There's too much BTM. There's too much Mac and Zach. Where can I get the best of? Well, we decided we're going to be putting out little short bits of classic stories we've told across the commentaries and the podcast, and I think we're gonna call them I don't know, classic stories or campfire tales. I don't know what we're gonna do, but
this is really just him wanting to put out that fucking incest story.
Yeah, so the incest story that he told on the Retro Rampage is too good to be limited to Live and Die on the game playthrough. It was fucking amazing, and it's got to be extracted and cut out, and it's going to be its own story. And I'm like, that's going to be weird if we just have like a short 30-minute episode, and it's just like got some clickbaity title to it. Like, we have a lot of stories that I think would work for those, and we can just sort of like put them out there. I don't know.
Yeah.
People just have to hear the story, basically.
You should just get your brother on to tell some stories.
Riverman,
right?
yeah, I know we do. Riverman, did you fucking listen to that? Did you listen to his story, the incest?
No, I don't. Don't spoil it for anybody.
Well, dude, it's out now. I mean, seriously, we won't say any more than incest, but yeah, go look for it. By the time this is out, it'll be out. And
why would I want to listen to a story about
dude?
incest?
It's fucking great. No, it's not. It's fucking great. Just do it. Just do it.
It's not me having sex with.
Don't ruin it. We want to make them think it is you. Remember?
If it was me, I would have never admitted to it.
Dude, do you know how many times I've fucking beat off to imagining Zach laying in the back in the I don't want to give the details away, but I beat off to the idea of Zach watching these two people have sex. It's hot. So hot. It's hot as shit.
I've ever told you guys the story about the time?
That's a YouPorn video waiting to happen, man.
Mm-hmm.
Have I ever told you the story about the time? I only one time in my life I had a roommate, and
I love this. Okay.
What's that?
Yes, I love this story.
Okay. So let me. So only one time in my life I've ever had a roommate. One of my best friends. I actually refer to him as the Todd of my hometown. He's like the equivalent of Todd in a different state, because we were obsessed with movies. We went to see every horror movie together. He was obsessed with Dawn of the Dead, Romero. Pretty much, Todd would have loved the guy. In fact, I think, didn't you come along and watch fucking Nacho Libre with him?
I might have. I don't remember.
Nacho Libre's a good movie.
I think. Anyway, that's neither here or there. I know that was weird. It was like Marvel and DC crossing paths. But anyway, it's like Bizarro Jerry and Jerry. But anyway, so this guy, I lived with him for a little bit, and we had our schedules down pat. I always worked across town, and I always worked during the day. I never came home on my breaks. It was kind of inconvenient. I just kind of ate near the plaza where I worked. And, he was working at a restaurant, so he would work nights, or he might have had a day off. I don't know. But this one day was a little different. I sound like Casey Kasem. A little different. But I decided to come home for lunch. Home for lunch this day. I don't know what it was. I think maybe I had 2 hours off, or I took a partial day because I wasn't feeling well. I don't remember what it was. But I go up to my door, and I start unlocking the front apartment door, and I step in, and my friend, who's a good 10, 12, 13 years older than me, he was jerking off. It looked like he was jerking off in his mouth. So I walk in, and I'm looking straight. He's sitting on my couch, bare ass naked. His legs are straight up in the air like he's trying to fucking blow it on his fucking chest. And he's watching porn. I can't see the TV. I can hear it, but from where I'm angled and walking in, he's looking at a TV right at me. And as soon
what
as
do you do in that situation?
So here's what happened. As soon as I opened the door and I saw this, he of course reacted. He was a short guy. His little legs start shimmying down, trying to get his pants, because his pants were around his ankles. It made it awkward. His pants were around his ankles, straight in the air. And I just kind of go, "Hey, sorry," and I leave again, and I close the door.
I would have walked in and started dancing like, "Oh man, I caught you!"
I was like,
"Oh god,
oh man, this is great." I'm gonna pull my pants down, join him.
Yeah,
but no. Anyway,
you start trying to see who could come faster. That'll freak him out.
I literally just closed the door right away, and as the door was closed from behind the door outside, I'm like, "Hey, I'm sorry, bro." And then literally you'd think maybe he would come right to the door and be like, "Oh no." I gave him a minute, and I'm sitting outside the door, and then all of a sudden he comes back to the door, and the porn's off. He was
contemplating suicide. Like, how am I ever going to look at him
He had to
again?
take time. No, literally, it was so weird. It was like it never happened. About a minute later, he comes to the front door, opens it, and then nothing said. There's no more porn on the TV. He must have removed the DVD. I ended up finding the DVD later in his bedroom, but anyway.
Maybe he finished first.
Listen, I don't know. Maybe that's what he was doing. But elephant in the room. I'm in the kitchen, just kind of like trying to make lunch, not making eye contact with him, just trying to talk about anything else. So how was work? And then literally he just kind of breaks and goes, "You caught me jerking off, dude. Fucking whatever. Whatever." It's like, yeah, I know.
You should have asked him, like, were you trying to
I did it
in your mouth?
Dude, it looked like he's trying to blow in his fucking face. I mean, why else would you do that? Because like I said, he's on my couch, ass naked, and his legs are standing 12 o'clock. He's got him shooting straight up in the air like he's trying.
That is so weird, dude.
It's kind of like a yoga move, man. Like, and he's
maybe he had a Charlie horse in his leg and he was just trying to straighten it out.
And if you're gonna do that, yeah, why
was his underwear around his ankles in the air?
Yes,
dude?
his underwear was.
My God.
His underwear was around his ankles in the air. So,
that's hilarious.
It had to have been spontaneous because if you knew that was your thing, you would have taken your fucking pants off. Why would you make it hard on yourself?
Have you guys ever tried to suck your own dick?
No. I got so good.
I haven't channeled the Mac moment there, man. That was a Mac moment.
I got so good at yoga at a point. I mean, I haven't done yoga for a while, but there was a point where I got so good at yoga to where I could have sucked my own dick. And I didn't contemplate it as far as like wanting to do it, but I thought about it all the time because there would be moments where I'd be doing like a plow or all those moves that basically you're staring at your dick right in your face. Like, I could suck it if I wanted to. Like, I could totally do it.
Should have.
No.
Well, the thing is that, like, I think the movie, what was it, Kevin Smith movie?
Clerks,
yeah. Clerks was the one that brought it out to the forefront for all young males. It's like, can I suck my own dick? Is it possible? I think God never intended for man to suck his own dick because you just can't do it without, like, being, like, some sort of weird, like, I don't know.
Talk about confusing. Well, so
jury duty.
No, this is way better. Why are you trying to detract?
I'm tanking this fucking commentary.
A bunch of degenerates.
It's great, man.
Degenerator.
So, like, here's the thing. You pose a good question, Josh. I think we should make a poll out of this. So, like, everybody out there listening, I'd be interested if you guys want to comment on this. If you could suck your dick, would you? And here's the thing. You guys can answer, and we'll go over those in the next podcast. But people like to say they would, and they make jokes about it. But would you really want your own dick in your mouth? Would you really want any dick in your mouth? I mean, would you want your fucking pre-cum to be in your fucking gums? I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to be picking my... I mean... why does that sound good? Yeah, I get it.
The point is that somebody's tried to do it at some point in their life.
I'm sure. Zach probably has.
Probably.
Yeah, it's
a
lifelong goal, probably,
Yeah, I don't know. Dude, this is fucking this scene's disgusting me.
Best scene in the movie.
This is gross.
I think it's really funny that this is what they think prostitutes look like.
That's so funny. Look at that. That's a tiny condom, by the way. What about this? Oh, that's what it took? That's what it fucking took.
He just thought that was a really ugly chick and he was ready to fuck.
God, that condom was tiny. Don't do it! But hey, that's actually a pretty cool question, though. Have you guys ever been caught jerking off by family or friends or anything? Come on. Don't bullshit me.
I haven't. There's one time where I happened to have been jacking off, but like I had the covers over me and everything, and my dad.
I know, with your friends.
No, my dad just walked in, and he just like he grabbed something and then left, and I always thought he might have noticed.
Huh. Riverman. So the only time I think I can claim this, and it was kind of like a Zach story, but my mom back in like freshman year or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. We didn't have cable. We were kind of like you. You didn't have cable either. We never had cable. But so we watched the local channels, right? And late at night they would play shows like VIP, Blind Date. You remember that?
Yeah, Baywatch.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
They'd play those like late at night. So basically, this is actually a good follow-up to what I was saying about the easy access of porn. You know what? You have to get clever when you didn't have cell phones and shit like that in the internet. So you got excited when you found a fucking random porno in the woods. That was a good day. But here, anyway, we learned to love ABC Pam Anderson TV shows. Fully Clothed. That was gold. So I would lay in my bed. That was my porn. I'd jerk off to fucking VIP. Dude, there was this. What's the CBS early morning news show? It's not like the Good Morning America equivalent. There's like an early morning. Like we're talking like 6 a.m. There's like 3 of them.
What you're talking
okay,
about.
there was this chick on there, and she was a total cougar. I used to stay up till 5 a.m. just to watch her give the 5 a.m. international news, and I would beat off to her. And she had these like big doe eyes, and I just used to imagine nutting in them.
God, dude.
I know, man. Dude, and this was just a news anchor, and she was like 45. And anyway, so that's irrelevant. That paints the picture of what I had to work with. It's like the Batman thing. This is what I have to work with here. But anyway, so one time at around midnight or 1 a.m., that's when this shit would come on. I was watching VIP. I was in my little bed, and I was watching on my TV, and it was blurry, dude. I didn't like good reception. And I'm under the blanket. My mom fucking just barges in the fucking room. Barges in. And I just kind of play it cool like I wasn't doing anything. And she's like asking me something. I'm like, yep, did it. Ship shape. All's good. And it was quick.
Oh, it was like that scene from Tommy Boy. Ship shape.
It really was. Yeah. Buddy, whack it. It really was. And the thing is like I can.
It's a pretty girl down there.
Speaking of no one's watching, but basically it's one of those things in hindsight where, yeah, everybody played it cool, and I was under a blanket, but she had to have fucking known because I just moved too fast, you know? That's why you fucking knock, man. If I had teenage kids, I'm going to knock because I don't want to see just as much as they don't want to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I don't know if, like, parents are oblivious sometimes. I think maybe moms are oblivious. Maybe dads aren't, you know? Like your dad, I don't know. But, yeah, that was probably the closest I ever got, though. But that's a good memory, though, because I haven't thought about beating off to that anchor in a long time. I want to look her up. I don't remember what her name is.
That might be a close second to your diarrhea story, man.
Oh, I don't know about that. But
the diarrhea story would have been better if you happened to have been jacking off when you got diarrhea.
Dude, okay, look. Desperation. You want to talk about desperation? So late at night, like early morning type news shows. We're talking like 3, 4 in the morning. Do you remember Linda Ellerbee?
No.
She used to host. Okay, she was a news anchor. Gosh, I think like long ass time ago. We're talking the 80s, 70s on one of those big networks. But in the early 90s, she hosted Nick News for kids.
Oh, that
anchor.
old lady.
That old bitch. Yep, I nutted.
You jacked off to her?
Linda Ellerbee.
She had the short hair and it was white.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's sick, dude.
Believe me, I know the short hair proved a problem in my dreams because I had nothing to pull on.
Were you watching the episode where they talked about Clinton?
I'm gonna go even further, Riverman. You remember all that? Lori Beth Denberg? I railed her.
What?
I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking joking. I'm totally kidding on that.
Linda Ellerbee? Are you kidding?
I'm kidding about Linda Ellerbee. I'm totally kidding.
Why would you?
I was thinking of Lori Beth Denberg or whatever.
That's what I said on the. Is that what I said on the?
Oh, okay.
All that. That was a joke. I mean, I joked about that part. She'd fucking break me. She would break me.
I think it's funny that me and Riverman are like on the
conservatives about it.
We're on the far end of this conversation. Like,
I know.
I don't want to be in this conversation.
I'm on one end and he's on the other, you know.
No. We all have these stories and you guys are just choosing to remain fucking silent about it.
Come on, Riverman, tell us about the time you got caught jacking off.
I didn't, man. I don't do that.
You were just really
There is a funny story though. No, that's not a really good story. I don't know. There's got to be something, Todd. I can't tell your stories for you.
No, I would tell you if there was. There really isn't.
Okay,
honestly.
So masturbation out the window. Have you ever been caught with somebody else, like a parent or something?
Surprisingly, no. I mean, my parents pretty much stayed out of my business, which is nice.
But what about the girl's parents? What about the same parents that banned me from a house from looking at their daughter's underwear drawer?
No. I mean, maybe caught by, the girl's siblings, but that's about it.
Did they join?
No.
See, you're giving us enough. You're giving enough to Zach to get it going.
This is crazy because Aaron's taking on Zach's role in this commentary.
I know he's enabled. He's a bad influence. It's interesting conversation. I don't know. Okay, so Josh, you got nothing?
Getting
Nothing.
busted masturbating? It's happened before. But it's not really an exciting story. I think you've really broken the mold as far as like getting busted, beating off.
All this talk about busting, you got to stop.
It's like once you get busted by like if you've like been with a girl and you live together and she walks in on you, it's not really that big of a deal.
I get you.
Yeah, it's just like the worst part is that she tells her friends, when she goes to work, and so all her friends are girls, so like they come over to your house and like they laugh at you about the incident.
You should have been like, hey, you want to recreate it? You can walk in on me jacking off. And
Aaron just disgusts me now that I know that him and Linda Ellerbee.
Okay,
that is disgusting.
Okay, Todd, the Linda Ellerbee part was a total joke.
That's like Roseanne. It's like that's disgusting, dude.
Way to go, Dan! We are officially poor white trash.
Yeah.
No, the Linda Ellerbee one was a joke. Everything on before that was real. I just thought I'd carry on the joke further. But the news anchor was true, and then I thought I'd push it further. Linda Ellerbee.
Why would your brain go to Linda Ellerbee? That wasn't a joke.
It's not a joke.
Because she was always on early morning hours too. She was always on early
You were
morning hours too.
watching that episode of Nick News where they were talking about Bill Clinton getting a blowjob, and you were like, "Oh, she's talking about blowjobs."
How did they address that on Nick News? By the way, how did they word that?
I remember it was her and a bunch of kids sitting around, and she said something like, "We all know what the president did, and we're gonna talk about how it makes us feel." And it's like, I don't give a fuck about what he did. Who the fuck cares?
I know.
And all these kids are just sitting there with their arms crossed, like, how dare you?
It's funny. I don't know. I kind of want to keep it rolling. I like that conversation. It's fun. Makes for good banter.
I think girls secretly like knowing that we beat off. Like I've dated girls who are like they want you to masturbate in front of them because they want to experience the male fantasy from sitting across and just watching. And I've had girls ask me, "What are you thinking about when you masturbate?" It's like you tell them, they're like,
it's that voyeurism.
Yeah, it's a little bit of voyeurism. It's a little bit of like they want to see, they want to know. I mean, they know that guys jerk off. I mean,
it's not as bad. It's not as bad as the girl I was telling Zach that wanted me to flood her cave.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like piss. Like her.
Yeah, they want. Yeah.
What?
Okay, so I know this girl. She said her thing is it's so funny because I wasn't getting it. She's like, I like to have my cave flooded. I'm like, you mean like cream pie? What are we talking about? She's like, no, my cave flood. I'm like, I don't get it. I like to get pissed in. I'm like, what?
In?
Yeah, like her cave flooded. Like,
fill me up with your piss.
Like her clam runneth over. And this is separate. This is a thing, man. Like, this is like an underground thing. Like, this is separate from the one girl I told you about a long time ago. I don't know if I told Zach or who, but the one girl that told me that she liked getting her mouth filled to the brim with piss. She liked to be on her knees in a shower and a guy just piss in her mouth and her be like a human fountain. And then when I told her, do you swallow it? She's like, I got fucking standards. I don't like that. She's like, I just like the feeling of it running over down my chin. Like, that's disgusting. It is. I fucking died laughing. I'm like, I mean, if somebody put me up to that, like a wife or something, like, I would laugh. I'd be like, no. But like, I guess if the marriage depended on it, don't expect me to be into it because I'll be laughing the whole time.
I would never marry a person that wanted that shit.
I would. If they were hot enough.
I don't care how hot they are.
You put your tongue in that mouth. That's gross.
Ugh.
That's fine.
You look at that person the same way.
It is very, but see, I think that's the kink about it is people like to be the people that like to be demeaned. You know that whole fucking that thing. It's
me.
Not my thing either. But I'm just saying that crowd exists. But it's weird. Oh yeah,
piss in my face.
Speaking of jury duty, we were going through that big book of charges, and I was getting Like, it'll have chapters. Like, it'll have a page where it discusses what's coming. And there was a chapter about, like, animals and, like, bestiality shit. And I was just like, oh, my God. Because it's weird to hear this, like, robot voice in a room full of adults and them talk about this shit. It was kind of
You should have just started laughing. That probably would have got you kicked out.
It was kind of hard not to. But anyway, they were like, and we will cover dog sodomy more in chapter 13.6, and then we'll get all the way to chapter 13.5 and it'll skip 6. Like, they just took it out. And then even the chick's like, yeah, you know, they trim out some of the more rare cases. And that just made me think, and I wanted to address it to the class. I'm like, that just tells you nobody gets caught for bestiality, because how would you? The dogs don't talk. They're not going to rat you out.
You gotta get caught red-handed, basically.
Or like, yeah, if you're like at a dinner party and your dog's not trained well and he starts fucking.
The thing is, I don't think anybody wants to catch anybody doing that red-handed. So, you know, nobody's looking for it. You know what I mean?
It's weird. It's just, but like I said, like, that's a fucking weird world, man. I don't know. That was a side note. I just noticed that in that fucking book.
That'd be great to have Pauly Shore on here. We could ask him about the time he got caught masturbating.
Hey, Riverman.
Yep.
What's up, Dad?
What's up, Dad?
Dad?
What's up, dude?
Oh, did you see that new movie, Dad? How's good, Dad?
What's up, Dad?
I don't watch new movies, did?
You still drinking that Baja Blast, Dad?
Blast.
Is that your thing at T-Bell, Dad?
No, man.
Wasn't that your thing?
I haven't had Taco Bell in like a year.
Did you ever have that pink Starburst drink?
No.
That shit was good.
You won't shut the fuck up about that pink drink.
That drink.
Oh, it's funny though. Yeah, you've been eating healthier, River. That's cool. But you actually messaged me because I'll be visiting you in September and we're going to be going to see Metallica. And you're like, you got to promise me one thing. We're going to eat chili cheese burritos on the way home.
Yeah, we have to, because we haven't done it in how many years, dude?
Yeah, it's been we do
how
that.
Many years, dude?
How many years, dude? He did it.
Right, dude.
But yeah, we got to go to a concert. We got to stay up all night in your basement watching movies, eating fucking chili cheese burritos like we're in high school, man.
Yeah.
And then you can fall asleep and sleep for 30-something hours straight.
We got to fall asleep watching Friday the 13th, the final chapter, and then wake up 2 days later.
Aaron and I have 2 couches. You can choose from either one, man. It's
Kush.
You can watch. What?
I said sounds kush. Sounds cool.
You can either watch the 4K TV or the console TV. Watch VHS. So either one.
I'm not as like nostalgic as you are when it comes to that stuff. I will be watching the 4K.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, if that's all I had, I could get used to watching like an old VHS and just the tracking, but I don't know. It's kind of like getting used to playing Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and then you go back and play the World Warrior, and I'm like, this shit is slow. I'm ruined.
Yeah, it's like going home and doing all your homework Friday so that you have all weekend to party.
No, I like the way I said it better. But yeah, no, that's gonna be a blast though. So when I'm down there though, man, we got to take advantage. Like I said, we'll have to get a little game plan going, and we'll have to record a whole bunch of video reviews and shit. Like we'll have to get it all our ducks in a row ready, and we'll get a whole bunch just for the whole year. Like
I agree, man. It's
we'll have to figure out something.
Kind of got to plan it around my kid though. I mean,
yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure it'll all be like late night shit because you're gonna be off. It'll be a vacation thing, so we'll get it figured out. Zach, I wish you would come down, man, because you're not that far. I wish you'd come down for a couple days. We could do a fucking video. I don't know. You're not. How far is
I don't know.
Town?
Michigan.
Oh, I was thinking. I thought it would be cool. Why don't you guys come out to New York City for fucking the new Halloween movie?
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
We could do a commentary for it.
I'd love to go to New York. I've never been to New York City, man.
Yeah, dude, come on. I mean, save up some money. We got like 6 months or something.
We could, and we could make a movie out of it where we're on a boat most of the movie, and then we make it at the final 30 minutes.
What?
That was a Friday the 13th Part 8 reference.
Oh, yeah.
Zach, have you ever been to New York City?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
So
I'm just saying we could all get together in New York City, and then we could record a commentary right after the movie was done. before and after.
We could take our recorders in and do a commentary while the movie's on. We'll be the first to have a commentary for it.
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah, if we don't get kicked out, you know?
a dive motel split 4 ways ain't too shabby either. Sleep on a floor.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
No, I'm always down. I'm gonna try and go to. I want to try and go to London for like a week or something. I think. I don't know.
I don't want to go to London. In London.
London Dungeon. But yeah, no, I'm always down for stuff like that. Zach, we need to get you out of your hole, man. You should figure out how far away.
You don't even gotta like buy a rental car in New York, right? There's so much public transportation.
Yeah, you just get like a
Yeah,
Metro
absolutely.
pass. Yeah, just get like a Metro pass. I mean, don't get me. It's fucking disgusting.
Oh,
It's
that's
not
fine.
pleasant.
I want to experience that shit.
Oh, you should.
Yeah.
I mean, you should experience it.
Zach,
Hey,
you ever been to New York City before?
Mm-mm.
No? Oh, come down and hang out with us, man. It'd be fun.
Josh, I've never even been in an Uber before. What does that tell you?
Oh, damn.
I've been in a taxi once.
Oh, man. It's you'll figure it out really, really quick, man. It's nothing. There's nothing to it.
You don't need Ubers.
Me and
It's all
Aaron to
Metro.
guide you through it, man. It's nothing. It's fun. You'll have a good time, you know?
Josh was there when this happened, and I think I've told Zach about it. And I'm pretty convinced this is exactly what it was. You remember when we got, first of all, after doing the Tommy Wiseau experience or whatever, we were trying to get on the right train, and there was that fucking asshole guy down there.
Yeah.
Remember? And that's just New York for you. These people get so used to dealing with fucking meth heads and crackheads all day long. I don't blame them from having little patience or whatever.
Oh, the guy was the subway attendant or whatever behind the glass. He
said something, and you might have asked him to clarify something.
I'm like the most polite motherfucker ever, dude. I was like, hey, can you tell us like how to get? He was like being an asshole, and because like I guess he'd heard that question a million times, and
well, you asked him to clarify something. He said something, and it was a little vague. It did beg for a follow-up question, and you asked him said follow-up question, and then he kind of looked at you like he was offended. Like, look, listen with your ears. I'm not gonna say this again. Like he was being an asshole.
Yeah, total asshole. And then we just figured it out.
I would have pissed on him.
Yeah, we figured it out. But anyway, so when we got on whatever the train was, and I think it was when we got off the train where I was staying on Broadway. But when we got off the train, we were walking out of the subway station, and I'm walking side to side by you, and then we walked past this bum standing against a pillar. And then as I'm walking past his face, I turn my head and look right at him. And as I turn my head to his face, he blows crack smoke in my fucking face, man.
Did you go?
Dude, he was hitting a pipe, and fucking like I said, we're walking on the way out. He's leaning against the pole.
Hilarious, dude. It was fucking great too. I loved it, man. Jesus. And then we were like sitting in line for Tommy Wiseau, and like we were just talking like some like nonchalant politics to ourselves, and like some like guy next to us, like we were just saying some stuff to each other. And like this like super liberal couple to our left like gave us a dirty look real quick. I was like, really? You're listening in on our conversation?
Were you like, man, I hate them queers, man. Them fucking faggots. I hate them.
We weren't even saying anything that crazy. We were just talking about the president and the current situation and all that. And it wasn't even anything crazy. And he looked over at me. Well, he looked down on me because he was a lot taller than me. He looked down on me. I was like, is this guy gonna fucking say something? Like, it has nothing to do with him at all, you know?
You get it, Zach, you'd fit in fine in New York is what he's trying to say.
Oh my God, yeah. I would love to have you. Oh my God, I would love to have you in New York.
Me, why?
Dude, Zach in New York, it'd be like watching a Crocodile Dundee movie. A fish out of water tail. I'd love it.
So I like to think somewhere... I'm like somewhere in between like Aaron and Zach politically, you know. It's like, and so it'd be great to like, and I don't give a fuck, you know. Like I'm not like a judgy guy in terms of that way. It's like, live and let live. You believe what you believe. If you're not an obnoxious asshole about it, I don't give a shit or whatever. But
I don't think any of us are.
Yeah,
I'm a fairly live and let live guy.
I love giving people shit. That's all I care about. It's fun.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, Zach loves pushing people's
I
shit.
think Zach would like Nebraska too. I think
you missed my zinger. You missed my zinger.
What was your zinger?
Oh, Zach, Riverman said Zach. I just like giving people shit. I said Zach just likes pushing people's shit. The moment's passed.
Mm-hmm.
It's over. But yes, Zach would not. Why would Zach like Nebraska? He lives in Illinois, isn't it? Like,
Oh, I thought he lived in Chicago.
no, he lives in rural, right? You don't live in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you live in Lanford then? So you'd fit right in Nebraska.
Yeah, he basically lives in Lanford, Illinois.
yeah.
He works at the lunchbox.
I think we need to get some money together and get Aaron out, or Zach out here. And we need to take him to Brooklyn
Yeah. Oh,
and get him drunk. And that would be fucking hilarious, man.
It's Brooklyn.
we'll take you to the House of Yes, Zach.
Do you have all those marble mouths that have like the Brooklyn accents, dude? The New York accent. I hate the New York accent, man. It's horrible.
I didn't hear. You don't hear too much of it. You don't hear too much of
Fucking
it, man.
horrible.
You don't hear too much of
The
it.
Jersey accents. Ugh.
At this point, dude, it's so homogenized to all these like little white privileged motherfuckers, like just stupid fucking idealistic kids. It's just like it's not really New York anymore. It's just a bunch of like I'm gonna stop before I get myself in trouble. But it's basically like when you go down to Williamsburg or like Brooklyn, it's a bunch of like hipsters. That's all it is,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you've never been, it's a fun time. If you stay too long, it's exhausting.
I'd go for a few days. Yeah, for a few days, but I couldn't live. Are you in the city or what? Where are you at, Josh?
He's not.
I'm in New Jersey. I'm about an hour and a half away from New York, so it doesn't take me long to get down there. But I would not live in Brooklyn if my life depended on it, dude. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
It's just I can't stand the people. It's too
Bunch of assholes.
edgy. It's too edgy. I lived in Chicago, and like hipster Chicago for a long time.
I hated Chicago.
And then I was in the military for a long time. It's like all these rules. It's just I just want to be myself. I like to be around people that just relaxed,
Hey, this is the comedic genius in the scene. Let's watch it real quick.
Okay.
This is amazing. It's asbestos.
He's got that scream down from Beethoven. Remember, he was one of the bad guys. He was one of the goons. I'll give you a bone. I'll give you a
his
bone.
character's like a germaphobe.
Look at that.
So-
She's open mouth kissing him without any tongue. What does that tell you?
You're a little ahead of me.
Yeah, he is. Hey, Zach. So if we can get Zach down to New York, it'd be a lot of firsts for you, man, because we'd take you to Atlantic City. Hell, we'll get you a prostitute.
Okay.
No, we won't. I won't do that. But
If you're
we'll
paying.
take you to Atlantic City. No, I'm just not gonna be that guy.
Now we'll do a commentary while Zach's getting his cherry popped.
Oh, we'll do a commentary of it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we'll do a live. We'll do a live stream on fucking Facebook.
Screw New York. How about we just all go to Vegas and Aaron can meet us in Vegas, dude?
Vegas, dude. Vegas is
the
so much
best,
fun.
dude. I love
It's-
Vegas.
I actually would do. I would actually go to Vegas just to hang out with you guys
It's fucking awesome.
for like
dude.
3 days.
Vegas might be smarter because Vegas is it's super cheap to get airfare to Vegas at different parts of the year, right?
Why don't we set up a Patreon or like something to like raise the money for all of us to go and do that, and we'll do like a bunch of podcasts or whatever. We'll like live stream it or whatever. Like why don't we just get people to pay for it?
Fund our fucking vacation, people.
Hell yeah! I mean, why not? I've seen people like make fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars off a terrible fucking live stream.
Yeah, people actually give for those.
We only would need like maybe $2,000 to do it.
Regardless, the thing is you can get some pretty good deals at hotels. I mean, I know how to get them. You can get good deals at Vegas rooms and good rooms. You can. That's not a problem.
If you get them in the middle of the week, and it's cheap as fuck,
dude.
you know?
Vegas. is where
No,
it's at, man.
no,
Vegas is awesome.
dude. I always go to Vegas on the weekends, and you can find deals.
Yeah, you can.
It's okay. Yeah. It's not a thing. Trust me.
Is that where do you got to get a car there, or is it like
No, I mean,
okay.
no, you don't.
You walk everywhere, dude.
Yeah, people like to Uber, and it's pointless because you can walk it, get in your exercise. That's half the fun is walking through Vegas with your buddies, by the way. But you'll
walk
see
around
people,
with beers too, dude, and fucking drinks, dude. It's
if
awesome.
you
Oh yeah, dude, I love it.
if you get in an Uber, man, you'll be stuck in traffic in that Uber. It's like you'd be paying $20 for an Uber ride that you could have walked, and it's totally fun. And yeah, I mean, obviously I'm close to it. But you can
all meet in Vegas. We could fucking split a hotel room, dude. It'd be fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and it would be easy. And
Zach, you would love it, dude.
And the thing is there's always something going down in New York, but New York's so overwhelming and it's so big. Vegas, there's always shit going down in Vegas, and it's so contained. Like, yeah. I mean, it's just...
I know. Well, because you walk in there and knowing what you're going to get, you know, it's just...
But I'm saying, like, literally, it's just, it's kind of fun.
I'm not a gambler at all, dude. I love it, though.
I haven't been to Vegas since, like, 2002. It's been a long time for me, so I'm one to go back, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'd be 100%.
But we just need to get the Patreon going, so...
I spent $50 in gambling, dude. $40, that's it. You don't need to gamble to go to Vegas, man. It's awesome.
It's nothing.
You don't have to gamble. It's fun. I like to play blackjack. But seriously, man, you don't. With the hotel split, like if it was for like a 3-day weekend even, the hotel split, man, we could probably get away with paying like
I gotta pay the most airfare though from fucking New York to fucking Vegas.
It doesn't. That's not gonna matter. Trust me, man.
A couple $100. It ain't.
It's not about the distance. It's about the airport and the ports and whatnot.
That's why we need the Patreon. We need to have them fund us first class.
No,
that's what I'm saying. Like, and of course, we can't do this without Zach. Zach has to come too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah. For like the $8,000 perk, I'll join.
Dude, look, all you guys got to do is, this is a shameless plug of somebody else's product. Download the Hopper app. It's fucking awesome. It's a travel app. Basically, you type in where you want to go, and it'll constantly give you updates every single day. Like if I put I want to go to Vegas around this time frame and I have flexible dates, they'll give me updates all the time. Like, hey, look, here's the cheapest airfare today, and then it'll tell you, look, wait, it'll get cheaper. It'll give you advice that's pretty dead on, and they'll even tell you, look, it's not gonna get any cheaper than this. Buy now. And it's fucking awesome.
Did Dennis Hopper create the app?
I'm downloading that right now, dude.
It's a great app, man. I'm gonna use it when I go see Todd. You know, I love it, man. But yeah, I'm saying, like, you can find deals.
I've never even been on a plane, so it'd be fun.
See, so many firsts. So many firsts. So many firsts.
He thought that was funny.
There you go, man.
That's funny.
It is funny, isn't it? Look at this guy. He's been using Joker products over here.
Sorry, I just think it's hilarious.
Yeah, I know.
I got a lot of family has never been on a plane either, so I understand where you're coming from, man.
He's we're your Chris Tucker, Zach. Be our Jackie Chan.
I went to Florida and I was in a car the whole time. It was fucking garbage.
Yeah.
Direct flights to Vegas. I mean, yeah. There's tons.
Zach, you need to open your world up, man.
Mm-hmm.
We're out here waiting for you to hang out with us, man. Where are you? What's going on?
Exactly.
But anyway, there's options. It's a good idea.
So
I don't know why this is anybody's business.
We've talked about the movie about 3 times during this commentary.
we got everything. We said everything that needed to be said. I mean, you know, we talked about Pauly Shore's fleeting career. We talked about his friendship with Fred Durst. We started to, but did not finish talking about the connection with John Travolta acting in a new Fred Durst movie. And he was just quoted by fucking
TMZ.
Fuck. TMZ.
TMZ.
They asked him what it's like working with Fred Durst. He said it was the greatest experience ever. And I felt that was kind of broad. I'm like, so like greatest experience in a movie or like ever?
Of course he's going to say that because it's the most recent thing that he did.
Even better than all those dudes he blew?
What if Fred Durst is just... Fred Durst is just that guy. He's so fun to be around.
I got to admit, though, the synopsis of the movie sounds interesting. Like, just the fact that he cast Travolta to play a middle-aged, nerd-obsessed convention goer.
Yeah.
Look, Zach, yeah, he plays a nerd, that guy that goes to conventions, and he's obsessed with this action hero who's played by, get this, Devon Sawa.
Sweet.
So it's like double trouble for you, Zach. It's like all this fucking star power. You can't take it.
It's my wife's crush, dude. Devon Sawa.
Devon Sawa. He becomes obsessed with him. So it kind of sounds like The Cable Guy, but it's supposed to be like it kind of sounds like The Cable Guy meets like that movie The Fan or whatever. But I don't know. It sounds ridiculous. I want to see John Travolta. Well, they had a picture of him on set. Fred Durst sent. He had an Instagram shot.
Did you see his fucking haircut? Look retarded.
Yeah, he looked ridiculous. I said he looked just like the fucking Terminator prop head from T1 when he was cutting his eye out in the sink. And I sent the picture, and they literally do look like each other. In fact, I changed my opinion and said, you know what? The T1 head looks like John Travolta. It does. It looks like fucking John Travolta.
Travolta's gone full on Nicolas Cage at this point, where you just go in any movie You know, he'll be in
Hopefully.
any movie at all. You know,
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage entertains me.
That movie, Mom and Dad, or whatever, is on Amazon or Hulu or whatever.
I've heard it's good.
It looks fucking out of this world. It looks crazy, man. Him and Selma Blair. It looks like a vehicle for Nicolas Cage to be ultimate Nicolas Cage to the max. But yeah, anyway, we're getting way off topic here. That was a fun chat. A lot of shit to cover. There's a lot of stuff going on. We should do more. Can you tell that we secretly wanted to do a shoot the shit episode and we just kind of combined the two?
Yeah.
That's what it kind of sounded like.
So
Oh, well,
everybody get on Patreon and give us money.
do you guys really think it's possible to lodge Zach out of his home spot to come hang out with us?
I think the hardest part would be getting him there, and after that, he'd be fine.
That's like my biggest fantasy. I would much rather hang out with
Biggest
Zach
fantasy?
than Aaron.
Shit, if I can get out, you can get out, Zach.
Wait, what did you say, Josh? Back it up. I heard my name.
I said I always rather hang out with Zach than Aaron any day of the week.
There you go. High praise. No, it'll be fine. I think we should do it. It'll be fucking hilarious. And if we did that, I would go all out and I would make sure I had like a really nice DSLR camera.
You would get all the blow.
No, I'm saying I would make sure we had really good equipment, great camera. We'd take advantage and set up shop and do some like recording and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I'm just trying to manifest an opportunity to suck Zach's dick.
Fuck yes.
okay, you have had a few drinks. This guy, in like all of 30 seconds, he's cut me down and said he wanted to blow Zach. What's going on here? How many beers have you had?
2.
Okay, I'm gonna test that. Would you let Zach nut in your mouth?
If it was Zach, yeah, I would let Zach. I mean, he's the only one ever. Because I trust Zach, you know, he's my friend. I know he'd do it with passion and love, you know, like.
What if his nut had like a yellowy tinge color to it and it looked very unsavory?
It does.
I don't think I would swallow it. But I'd let him nut, you know. I don't know. We could talk about it. We could work on it, you know. It's okay.
We can work
It's all
out a
good.
deal.
Yeah, we can work out a deal, you know.
Yeah, I can get a.
Okay, why are we talking about these arrangements on the podcast?
I'm looking
Like,
I'm looking at flights right now, dude.
This is ridiculous. Dead? Great.
Dude.
I'm looking at flights, Dead. What's up,
She's
Dad?
your
We got
mom, Dead.
Now that's got to be a soundboard drop.
Anyway, let's wrap it up. That was a fun chat.
I'm just joking, though. I'm saying, though, let's say if like me,
He turned into Mac now too.
oh, I'm not that bad. Actually, I'm not as bad as fucking Zach on his fucking drunken Terry's or whatever. But I'm just saying, okay, if there was 4 of us in bed together in Vegas, who would be where?
We're gonna be like the Three Stooges and to sleep on top of each other.
Who cares? Dude, you don't sleep in Vegas anyway. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, well, dude, I'm one of those guys. Like, I get a fucking few hours sleep, man. Like, you're gonna be unless you're wired on coke. Josh, you seem like a bit of a wild card. I could see you partaking in the pleasures of Vegas for the occasion. I could see you bumping.
Yeah, I would be the guy that never came back to the room, and you guys are like sleeping in the room. You're like, where the fuck's Josh?
You can do whatever the fuck you want.
You already wear the sunglasses all the time. You're already ready.
I've read that like we should all do acid. And I read that like if you do acid, the worst thing to do is stare in the mirror. We should all do acid and stare in a mirror.
See, I don't like doing acid because acid takes you out of reality in the moment.
You took that more serious than you were ever supposed to.
That's funny. I think it's a cool idea. There's all
The
kinds of
acid part?
No, just the whole deal, the whole kit and caboodle, man. I mean, this whole area is great. You know, I mean, yeah, there's always cool shit, man. So this is stuff we should talk about. I'm not going to go the petty Patreon route. You guys can feel free.
I was joking.
Yeah, okay. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not joking. If they want to do it, more power to them.
They're at home right now like, man, Riverman, you ain't even ever on this show. We ain't going to pay you nothing.
They're all from a Friday movie.
Fly my dog down there too. You know, she wants a flight.
I think I need to tell everybody right now I'm about 700 pounds and I require 2 seats on the plane. But Anyway, let's wrap it up. I apologize, everybody. We didn't really talk about jury duty that much, but we cleared all the major ground. In fact, I think we had more fun doing it the way we did. I don't know what happened in this movie. Do you?
Yeah, I know.
Good, man.
Well, you've seen it before.
He got called into jury duty. He didn't want to do it.
All I'm doing, I'm looking at the still frame of this movie that's stuck on the screen of this guy, and I'm getting hungry looking at this guy's filet mignon lips.
I don't
Nobody?
see a still frame.
You don't see it?
No, I ended the movie.
Okay, never mind. So that went over your guys' heads. Anyway, it's over. Well, I think we got one more Big Daddy in the Pauly fucking Shore exploitations sold by the seashells. And that's going to be in the Army now at some point. I'm not going to count Pauly Shore's dead.
What about Curse of Encino?
I don't know what that is.
That's another movie.
We got to end it. That's it. Let us know what you think of this commentary or lack thereof of commentary. Let us know what we got to do next. We got a whole shitload of stuff in the queue, but let us know if there's anything in particular. And I forgot to read some comments, and I feel like since we didn't have any episodes last week, that's not a regular thing, everybody. The fact that we took a week off, it was merely because of my jury duty, and we couldn't get our schedule. Zach was falling asleep during the day like a bat, and I was doing jury duty.
Are you going to read comments?
I'm going to do it right now because I feel like we should.
Well, I'll be right back. Go ahead.
See, don't pay for Riverman's fucking flight. Riverman, he's already expressed that he doesn't give a shit about your opinions. He's going to take a shit.
I love the fact too that like Riverman's the one that like created this whole thing. He's like, fuck it, I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
like I'm out of here.
He's changed. You used to be beautiful. But okay, so it's really, man, I don't know where the last time we left off because we didn't do any last week. I'm going to try and see. Okay, I think I know. We had Slasher in Suits. I'm not familiar with him. I think he's first time he's commented. He commented on our It Follows commentary. He just said, good point. He's curious about what year that movie's supposed to take place. I think it's supposed to be ambiguous. I think it's modern day, but they just, try and eliminate. I mean, the chick's got like a Palm Pilot or something. That thing that looks like a birth control pill or a clamshell or something. So that's a weird movie. It's an overrated movie. I don't really care for it. Joey Wilkerson appreciated us doing that last Tales from the Crypt episode. He said it was one of his top favorites. We're going to try and do those once a week. We're going to knock one out Sunday, I think. Josh, you're more than welcome to join. We can do that shit. And let us know if you want to do some for your channel too. We got to start that shit too. Friday the 13th, part 4, final chapter. Adrian Mendoza. Thank you for always listening, commenting. He says, I loved all the sex talk. Okay, I got to stop him for a second here. This commentary feels like part 2 of that one because we got really sleazy. Because we had Mac on, and it really became Mac and Zach, and it got really dirty. And anyway, and we commented like, man, this is a filthy fucking podcast. And anyway, Adrian Mendoza says, I loved all the sex talk. Mac's sex stories were the best. I need to see T2 again to catch the T1000's cock and balls.
I will say it took me a little while to get like acclimated to Mac and Zach, going from Zach and Aaron. Like you and Mac are so different, but they're both like amazing podcasts. Like Mac and Zach is great. Like I've actually grown to love them a lot. They're really, really good.
You ain't gotta lie.
Those drunken commentaries, man. Those drunken.
I think the Mac and Zach stuff is really good because it's like a stream of consciousness. It's like Matt. It's like Zach is trying to control Max, but then Mac is like, well, I don't know. It's weird because you guys have known each other for a long time. So
I love it when Zach starts getting drunk. He can't control his liquor as well as Mac. But Zach will just, like I said, stream of consciousness. He'll kind of forget where he's at. He'll start fucking busting open ho-hos and start eating on the mic. He'll get up and fucking fall, and you'll hear him face plant right in the fucking floor.
Mac will just like fucking disappear and never come back.
He'll fucking disappear and never come back.
Which I think is fucking hilarious, dude. Because I'm like, he's just fucking face down on the carpet, or he just doesn't give a fuck.
And he lately he's been pulling his girlfriend Courtney on and asking her a bunch of really racy questions.
Yeah, it's great. I love that too.
So speaking of questions, are you answer these
I've already
questions?
started them. Man. You went to go
okay.
take a shit.
Oh, dude.
We're in the middle of it. I'm answering Adrian Mendoza's questions. He was saying he liked the Friday the 13th Part 4 we did with Mac on board, and it got a little racy, and he was a big fan of the shit we were talking about. I did mention that if you freeze frame, you could see T-1000's cock and balls when he first travels through time.
Oh, nice.
And he has to go, yeah. And he's like, I need to watch it again because I got to see that.
Was it thick?
No, it doesn't really look big at all. But anyway, he also commented on the Tales from the Crypt What's Cooking episode. He's referring to the iTunes version because this is the only place where he heard this on the intro. He said, your Crypt Keeper was on point, Aaron. It's okay. I appreciate you, though. Thank you. It's good from where Zach was sitting. That's what he kept saying. Mm-hmm. Bradley Taylor, a.k.a. the Brattlesnake, he says, after listening to the commentary to this movie, I wish you could have talked about this movie a little bit more. A little bit in quotations. The actress that was killed in the raft, Judy Aronson, was also in the 1989 horror anthology film After Midnight. I disagree with Zach about the favorite Jason actor. I would go with Kane Hodder first and the late Richard Brooker second. If you had the chance, could you do part 2? We almost did part 2, and I think 4 won by a nudge. So I think we should do part 2 very, very soon. That'll be the next one we do.
Did you do 5 yet?
I know the only ones we've done are Jason X and part 4, right?
I know Josh did 5. 5's my favorite.
We've done most of them, actually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he did, and let me give him a plug because he did. Brattlesnake in a separate message said, he says, here are a few of the Friday the 13th the series episode commentaries I've done. He said, feel free to check them out. They're on archive.org. If you guys want to go to the comment section of that particular video, the final chapter, you can check out his stuff on there.
Listen to the Brattlesnake talk about his fate. He did like 3 commentaries for one episode. He's a crazy man.
He does a lot. I clicked on the link Brattlesnake once, so did Josh, and I got to give you credit, man. You know your shit and you're passionate, and you know a lot of shit, man. I was listening to you talk about the Batman 60s TV show, going off about like all kinds of stuff that I would have never even, known. So that's cool. Check that out. And then last couple I'll read for our Halloween 2 commentary. Antoine Evans. I don't know how you pronounce this. I don't know if we've seen him yet or not. I don't think so. He says Halloween 2 1981 good, but it's not better than the first one, but he loves watching 1 and 2 back to back. I think that echoes exactly my opinions of it too. It's not quite as good as the first one, but I fucking love it. Anyway, he also comments, I like the first Crocodile Dundee. I don't like part 2, and part 3 I ain't seen in a long time. I don't know how I like it or dislike it. And we were talking about that movie a lot. That movie has been lost in obscurity. Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles. Zach, we got to fucking do it.
All right.
Was part 2 the one where he kidnapped what's her name, Fran or whatever, and not Fran? What the fuck is her name?
Fuck if I know.
Blondie, and they kept her in that house or whatever.
Deborah Harry?
I don't remember.
I don't know. But regardless, we gotta do we're doing the one with fucking Mike Tyson. That's
only if we can do Flipper too.
That movie sucks. Anyway, we got to wrap it up.
God,
fuck you.
Oh, Josh James, go ahead and plug R-rated, and then we'll wrap up.
Yeah, check out R-rated on R-rated horror commentary podcast on YouTube. We're on iTunes as well, and if you like these kind of commentaries, come check us out. And we walk back and forth between our 2 shows, don't we? So
yeah, I
think it's time for us to invite you over to do a show with us.
Yeah,
it's been a little while. So
Josh, I was listening to a solo show you did. I don't know, it was a few episodes ago. I'm trying to think of what I listened to it at work. It was really good.
You do a good job for being solo, man.
I couldn't believe it. You said that your guy couldn't do it that week, and then you
still did it.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, solo shows are weird, man. I just basically because I start them like 5 times. And then finally I hit a wave and just go. And it's just a weird thing. Basically just trying to have a good time. And I don't know. Mm-hmm. I mean, like Zach said to me one time, like, I don't know how you do like commentaries by yourself, but I just try to be a fan and be honest and be an idiot, like all at the same time. And it's like, I just want people to have fun when they listen to it,
And I gotta say too, I think I'm 1 behind, but the last one I listened to while I was commuting from jury duty, I listened to Chopping Mall. Do you have one new one past that?
Freddy vs. Jason, I listened to.
Chopping Mall is the one I listened to.
Okay, Freddy vs. Jason, that's right. So I haven't listened to that yet. I listened to Chopping Mall. I really liked it. And I gotta say, not that you weren't good at first, dude. You've gotten even better. Like you're really tightening up. Like,
Well, it's really weird because when we first started, we didn't really know what we were doing, so we sounded really bored, kind of, because like we didn't really know how to, have a personality. Like, because you don't really know what you sound like when you're being recorded. I mean, you guys know this. So, like when you first start out,
you just can't think about it.
Yeah, you don't know until you hear it back. So it took us a little bit of a time. I mean, we've been a channel for over a year. I don't know. I mean, I just when I start a commentary by myself, I just try to embody being a fan and like being honest about how I'm feeling in the moment, and then just putting it out there and having fun with it and just laughing. I just want to laugh, It's amusing myself. Yeah. I figure if I'm amusing myself, then I'm amusing the fans too. I'm putting out a new solo commentary real soon. It's gonna be awesome. It's classic because I always love to do the girls, like Slumber Party Massacres, Sorority House Massacres. I mean, those are the ones.
Is it fucking the Linnea Quigley movie?
Nightmare Sisters.
Yeah, I saw you put that in the fucking Dropbox, and I took it because I've never seen that.
I need to watch it, man.
It's gonna be terrible. See, it's all about. It's a train wreck, but it's also like a fun time because it's just like you would totally understand where I'm coming from enjoying this movie.
So
it's completely unpretentious, just having a good time.
I like it because it's different than us, but it's obviously like-minded. And I don't know, when I listen to R-Rated, it reminds me of the really good podcasts that aren't around anymore, like the ones that Riverman, I think, that you used to listen to when we started this one.
Man.
It's like those old those aren't, where are those at? They're kind of gone, and everything's kind of gone a little bit more mainstream, but that's what it reminds me of. That's why I say it's almost like a fanzine, because that's the way they kind of were 10 years ago or whatever. And it's really cool, and you and Wizall are great. So everybody, I'm going to say this, and it applies for us too. Go on iTunes. It's a big deal these days. Leave reviews. I mean, if just to help us out, just to help Josh out, just to help out Mac and Zach. We're going to include links. Josh will include URLs to your iTunes in the YouTube shit too. Yeah. So click on all these links. We're going to go there. Just give 5 seconds. Click the link. Leave a 5-star rating, and if you want, leave a little sentence like, "Oh, you guys rock," or "Oh my God, you guys disgust me." Leave something, because the more feedback we have, the higher in the ranks all of our podcasts will be in iTunes, and we'll get more exposure that way. And that's just the way it works, unfortunately, with the old algorithms and whatever. But we want to expand the fan base, so please do that. And I've been joking for a long time, but I want it to become reality. If we can get 100 reviews on at least the Behind the Mask, Zach will nut any one of you. We'll fly you out first class, and Zach will swallow all of you.
Jesus Christ.
I will say that I am fully 100% back Revival House, because I think you guys are truly talented people. I think you really have something to offer. So
you're too kind.
Says the guy with.
I give all the credit to Zach. I don't take any of that.
So
all I'm saying is that there's a lot of shit on the internet, and I think you guys really have something going on in terms of like being good.
Zach is a blessing, because I'll tell you why, and we're gonna make you feel like embarrassed for a second here, Zach, because you added an element to the show that was definitely a breath of fresh air, and it kind of reminded me and Riverman, we always talked about the old Howard Stern. Love old Howard. Howard has gotten old, and you can't like listen to his shock radio. And I'm not saying we're Howard Stern. You're not like getting a schmegma mustache for concert tickets or anything. We're not that gross. But you know what? You kind of bring that taboo, not afraid, that comedian's aspect to the thing. Like, you make jokes that are not tasteful, but it's comedy. It's kind of fearless. You make fucking kid jokes, for God's sakes.
Which, dude, I don't think that you guys realize, how brilliant the little microcosm of like comedy you guys have going on is. It's really, really good. It wouldn't work like Zach and then you are so separate, but together it works really, really well. It's like you guys have fans for a reason, And like, as a guy myself, like telling you as a creative guy telling you, like, you guys are really, really good. You have a good thing going. People should be subscribing and listening to this because I think it's underrated. It should be lifted up a little bit more than it is, you know? Like, I really believe that.
Go on the iTunes, man. Leave those reviews.
Exactly.
Oh, and also, in like Adrian Mendoza, like I said, he listens to everything and he comments. He says he actually listens on to Google Play. That's where he gets our shit. So yeah, go on Google Play. We're on Stitcher. We're all those places, and you can find us basically anywhere you get your podcast from. That's all we got. Josh has about damn made me cry. I'm sure Zach is going to start masturbating. That was high praise. Same thing, man, with you guys. You guys are great. You guys are the first podcast that we've latched on and buddied up with for a long time. Because we used to do that back.
I don't really know why, to be honest with you, because we're fucking just buffoons. But, you know, the thing is we do a thing that's honest.
Us buffoons stick together.
That's right. You know, honesty comes out. You know, people feel it. They feel it in their bones.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree. So, like I said, all that stuff, take it to the bank, comment, rate, all that shit, all of our podcasts. We'll love you. And last but not least, if you do happen to do that and you go to those links and you do it, feel free to comment on YouTube if that's where you came from and let us know you did it so we can give you some credit and keep asking questions and we'll bring them up on the podcast. And if you are on YouTube, like and subscribe as well. But that's all we got. Check us out on the podcast networks because you're going to get all nice ear candy intros and shit we can't put on here. They're just better. That's all we got. We'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye, puppets. Did? Bye-bye, did? I should have said that.
Later, did.
Later, did.